Among Us is a term that today strikes fear into the hearts of men. At this point, it has become so notorious on the internet that it's impossible to talk about it like a normal thing. Among Us began as a simple video game, but since then has turned almost entirely into a meme. Today, we'll be breaking down Among Us, the game, the meme, and its impact on the internet as a whole. Among Us was released in 2018. It was initially released on mobile devices in June, and then on PC in November. However, the game did not see a wave of popularity until over 2 years after its release. It is not clear exactly what caused Among Us to surge in popularity. It is possible that the global pandemic that began in March of that year set the stage for the popularity of a simple party game. Another factor is the release of the Henry Stickmin collection, which caused a spike of popularity for the Henry Stickmin games, released by the same company that made Among Us, Puffballs United. Regardless, in August of 2020, the game began picking up steam. This was undoubtedly tied to many popular Twitch streamers playing the game, usually in lobbies with one another. With millions of viewers exposed to Among Us, it was the perfect storm for the next gaming phenomenon. Among Us was accessible, only $5 on Steam, and free for mobile devices. It was so simple, you could basically run it on a frying pan. Among Us exploded in popularity. For the first few months, despite some early signs of cringe, everyone seemed on board with Among Us. But what goes up must come down. Games never last forever. There have been countless ultra-popular games over the last decade or so that have died off as fast as they emerged. In that respect, Among Us is no different, but it's unique in how it died. Instead of the developers cutting off updates, or the community ruining the game, Among Us was just kind of made fun of to death. In the beginning of Among Us's life cycle, the memes about the game were benevolent, unironic memes. These usually played off the actual game mechanics of Among Us, sometimes working in the in-game slang such as sus and imposter as well. But this only lasted for so long. October 6th, the Among Us strip image is posted on Twitter. October 7th, the Among Us trap remix is uploaded to YouTube. October 9th, the first instance of an object that looked like the Among Us crewmate is posted on Reddit. For the most part, these things did not become meme material immediately, but the stage was set. About a month later, on November 13th, an image was created that would change history forever. The image, a picture of popular streamer Germa985.
I didn't just do that, did I? Did I just click the fucking button to turn the computer off with my toe?
Edited to have a haunting smile and facehap and later captioned, "When the imposter is sus," was shown on stream by Germa on November 14th. While it is difficult to pinpoint a single moment that Among Us changed from a video game into a meme, I would say that this is one of the most important turning points in that process. "When the imposter is sus" was the first major Among Us meme, and opened the door for the absurdity that followed. The downfall of Among Us is a perfect example of culture versus counterculture. An enormous amount of hype builds up for a new trend, and then inevitably, the resistance to that trend builds, and in this case, that resistance to the Among Us craze was released by an eerily smiling streamer who, I might add, never even played Among Us. People began to see Among Us as something cringy, something to laugh at, rather than a game to play. It's understandable. The terms used in Among Us sound completely insane to someone who's never played.
You sussy baka!
And the immense popularity of Among Us seemed inescapable. This wasn't only due to the memes. The game is incredibly simple, which is a double-edged sword, in that it's easy to pick up and play, but lacks the amount of depth that lets games stand the test of time. This meant that, coming into December, people were just getting tired of Among Us. To make matters worse, December saw the release of the Among Us musical. Something so absurd, I actually thought it was a joke, until I started doing research for this video. More importantly, a new meme emerged to fill the void, just as Germa Sus was fading away. Amogus. Amogus marks the event horizon for Among Us. There was no turning back. Everything that once made sense is now repeated and abstracted to the point of insanity. By January, Amogus was all that remained of the game. The community was reduced to children, and its content creators either pandered to this remaining demographic or left the game entirely. At the same time, people began ironically posting about seeing the Among Us crewmate everywhere and developing insanity due to this. This was usually accompanied with the Among Us Trap remix from October, which became so iconic that just the first note is enough for it to be recognized. Although pattern recognition is nothing new to memes, with things like Illuminati and Lost being some other examples, it hadn't been taken this far before. By February, people were going insane from seeing Among Us posts everywhere. A couple months later in April, Amogus had been reincarnated with references to historical figures, and meanwhile, people used Cameo to get celebrities to say incomprehensible things, vaguely related to Among Us. And then, finally, after nearly half a year, it was over. In the wake of Among Us, and all the changes it went through, we are left with a changed society. While the term imposter and even sus were used prior to Among Us, the game ensured that they will not be used for a long time without conjuring memories of a smiling Germa and a white blob with legs. Millions have been exposed to the most utterly senseless, ironic, and absurd memes. But what about the game itself? Among Us now is like the Chernobyl disaster. The game is absolutely uninhabitable. If you tried to play, it would be impossible to take it seriously because of all the memes. Even with recent updates to the game, it is unlikely that it will ever reach anywhere near its popularity in late 2020. If you mentioned Among Us to people today, they would probably start saying sus and singing the Among Drip song. Any image that is uploaded of a fire alarm, a trash can, or Lego piece 26047 is forever cursed with the implications of Among Us. Now we are approaching the 1-year anniversary of Among Us becoming popular, and although barely anyone plays it anymore, the game and its memes have left a profound impact on the internet.